Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. May 7th. Respect for others. Such parts of our story we tell to someone who will understand, yet be unaffected. The rule is we must be hard on ourselves, but always considerate of others. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 74. Respect for others is the lesson that I take out of this passage. I must go to any lengths to free myself if I wish to find that peace of mind that I have sought for so long. However, none of this must be done at another's expense. Selfishness has no place in the AA way of life. When I take the fifth step, it's wiser to choose a person with whom I share common aims, because if that person does not understand me, my spiritual progress may be delayed and I could be in danger of a relapse. So I ask for divine guidance before choosing the man or woman whom I take into my confidence. Courage to Change, One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. May 7th. Why do I find it so hard to accept that alcoholism is a disease? Would I blame a diabetic or a cancer patient for their symptoms? Of course not. I know that willpower alone is not enough to defeat a disease. If alcoholics could simply stop drinking whenever they wanted, many would have stopped long ago. It would do me no good to plead, berate, or reason with tuberculosis. I will not waste my time pleading, berating, or reasoning with alcoholism. I therefore resolve to stop blaming the alcoholic for what is beyond his or her control, including the compulsion to drink. Instead, I'll direct my efforts where they can do some good. I will commit myself to my own recovery. I know that improved health in one family member can have a profound effect on the rest of the family. In this way, I can make a much stronger contribution to the well-being of those I love than I ever could by trying to combat a disease that can't be controlled. Today's reminder. When I accept that alcoholism is a disease, it becomes easier to recognize that I too have been affected by something beyond my control and to begin to recover from those effects. There is a quote from A Guide for the Family of the Alcoholic, and it reads, "Whether or not the alcoholic achieves sobriety, the time for the family members to begin working on their own recovery is now." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, May 7th. Turning turmoil into peace. With the world in such a turmoil, I feel I have been blessed to be where I am. Basic text, page 145. Some days it doesn't pay to turn on the news. We hear so many stories about violence and mayhem. When we used, many of us grew accustomed to violence. Through the fog of our addiction, we rarely got too disturbed by the state of the world. When we are clean, however, many of us find we are particularly sensitive to the world around us. As recovering people, what can we do to make it a better place? When we find ourselves disturbed by the turmoil of our world, we can find comfort in prayer and meditation. When it seems like everything is turned upside down, our contact with our higher power can be our calm in the midst of any storm. When we are centered on our spiritual path, we can respond to our fears with peace. And by living peaceably ourselves, we invite a spirit of peace to enter our world. As recovering people, we can affect positive change by doing our best to practice the principles of our program. Just for today, I will enhance peace in the world by living, speaking, and acting peacefully in my own life. Today, Emotions Anonymous, May 7th. Reflection for today. This day will bring new challenges. I shall be faced with situations which I may label as positive or negative. Since being in the program, it is easier for me to handle the positive. In dealing with the negative, I need to act positively by reaching out to others through phone calls, meetings, and meditating. These are all things the program teaches me to do, and they work. Meditation for today. When things puzzle me and do not render themselves to any solution, help me to turn them over to you for special handling. Today I will remember what my mind cannot fathom can always be delegated to my higher power for proper disposition. Strengthening my recovery, meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families, May 7th. Worldwide Fellowship. ACA is a worldwide fellowship. New groups are established each week somewhere in the world. BRB, Big Red Book, page 350. We suffered such confusion and chaos as children, feeling horribly alone, on display, hunted, in danger, and lost. We wondered when our world would ever look like other kids' worlds. What was wrong with us that made our world different? Many of us grew into adults who became jaded and numb and shut down. We gave up on our world becoming like others. We were just hoping to get by without too much drama, too much pain. We did little things daily to hang on, but we were aware that our lives were a struggle and very disappointing. When we got to our first ACA meeting, we discovered that we were not the only people who felt like this. We weren't alone after all. When we heard that ACA was a worldwide fellowship, it was exciting to know that so many people were finding help. Sadly, this disease of family alcoholism and dysfunction exists everywhere. Now that we know this is a global problem, we also know it wasn't created by our particular parents, and we must admit they weren't the only problem. It's bigger than that. Knowing that we're part of a world of people who are now recovering together as adult children gives us great hope and a feeling of comfort. The affirmation reads, "On this day I join hands with the world of adult children as I remind my inner child, we were never alone." DHB Recovery Network. DHB stands for Devotion, Health, and Beauty. Daily meditations, reflections, devotions, and affirmations. Read by me. I am Day. DAA are my initials. Please like, share, subscribe, but most of all, be the you that you are created to be, one day at a time.